Let's get on a fundamental view on the markets as well. P. Funny Shekhar, Fund Manager, PMS Carvey Stockbroking, joins in with his views too. Funny, good to have you on the show. And at this point, sitting at 8,600, while the market has come back, but market participants have not really stopped talking about those lower levels of 88,000, 8,250 odd on the index. Is the downside risk still imminent in a way, and or do you think that for now the dust has settled, so we will be in this range of between 8,550, 8,700 again?
Well, I guess the downside risk is not material. Technically, downside risk is always imminent in any market, but it's not very material. So I believe the lows that we saw last time should more or less hold. But at the same time, I broadly agree that the upsides might be capped for the moment. But globally, things are looking much better than they were probably a week or two back. And since nothing much was expected of this credit policy, I don't think we can blame even local reasons for the decline. It's one of those days when the market sulks, and it will sulk for a little bit, and then it will settle down and probably find new reasons to cheer.
Okay, let's take a break on that note. We haven't done that for a while. A bunch of stocks active, and we'll talk about all of those on the other side of this very, very quick break. Stay tuned. Must say there is a bit of a recovery in the markets. So 8640, so a slight bit, ever so slight, but a slight bit of a recovery that we're seeing in the markets right now. A bunch of names doing extremely well, and we'll talk about all of those, but just pull up the Nifty movers for a moment and just show you what's happening, because yep, Tanveer was right. Banks haven't really done too much in the session today. In fact, they're down. But I think some unusual suspects today, the likes of Tata Steel, Bajaj Auto, Sesa Sterlite, NTPC, these are the index names which are moving up higher and taking the index higher. Yes, mid caps, and we'll come to RCF as well, but bring up the Nifty gainers first. The likes of Tata Steel, Sesa Sterlite, ACC Grasim from the commodity pack, and then and then stocks like Bajaj Auto and NTPC, which have gained quite a bit and are actually taking the index up. Now just about 16 odd points in the red for the Nifty. So it's been good going. And then yes, the likes of RCF or the agri space at large. So be it in RCF, be it some of the other fertilizer companies. I think I saw Chambal too not doing too badly. And then a clutch of other names, the pesticide companies, etc., which have done very, very well for themselves in today's session. Advanta comes up. There is an Excel Crop Care, Insecticides India. That whole clutch of names is doing very well. Funny, what could be a probable reason? I mean, we hear of farm crisis, crop damage, etc., etc. If anything, it is not a certain agri year, and somehow things related to the agri space are moving up, and moving up very, very smartly.
So I think one of the main reasons why they might be moving up today is the consequent decline that you saw in rate sensitives. And to that extent, since investors do scout for more insulated sectors from the broader economy, which happens to be, agrochemicals happens to be one of the top mid-cap sectors in that basket. So it might hog investor attention. But at the same time, if you look at a longer term perspective, and since valuations of this entire sector is something that will force you to look at least a 3-year horizon, then one poor Rabi crop doesn't make much of a dent, since the main crop is Kharif for many of them, and it seems, at least from the preliminary forecast, that the monsoon is going to be normal this time. So I guess one can understand the enthusiasm for the agrochemical sector. Also, consider the fact that for the last couple of months it has been a relatively neglected sector. So that's one of the reasons why it's I think in attention today.
Right, Funny. Just stay on with us. In an exclusive conversation with Farm Minister Mr. Radha Mohan Singh on the agri crisis, we have Supriya Srinath interviewing him and hearing it from the horse's mouth.
हिंदी में ही मेरा
जी सर. Thanks a lot for talking to us, sir. There is बहुत बातें हो रही है कि एक एग्रेरियन क्राइसिस हो रहा है हिंदुस्तान में. फार्मर सुसाइड रेट बढ़ रहा है, खरीफ क्रॉप है. मैं क्रॉप के बारे में आपसे 2 मिनट में बात करती हूँ, बट हमारे व्यूअर ये जानने को बहुत इच्छुक है कि किस जमीनी हकीकत क्या है, कितनी खराब है सिचुएशन ऑन द ग्राउंड. एक एग्रेरियन क्राइसिस क्या भारत देख रहा है?
देखिए, ये जब नई सरकार आई उसके पहले भी 10 वर्ष से कोई सरकार चल रही थी और आपके ध्यान में होगा पहली हरित क्रांति चली थी
जी।
हरियाणा, पंजाब, पूर्वी उत्तर प्रदेश, दक्षिण के कुछ राज्यों में, और वो बिल्कुल रासायनिक उर्वरकों का आधार था
जी।
अब उसका परिणाम कुछ दिन तो उत्पादन काफी बढ़ा, लेकिन अब जो जमीन थी उसकी उत्पादकता में कमी आने लगी। पंजाब के हजारों एकड़ जमीन मर गई
जी।
तो गिरावट शुरू हुई। अब कागज के आंकड़े का अलग विषय है, लेकिन उसका दुष्परिणाम ये हुआ कि उत्पादकता जिस रफ्तार में बढ़ रही थी वो कमने लगी। अब हमारी सरकार जब आई तो ये जो पिछले 8-10 वर्षों के अंदर जो कुछ हमने किया था, तो बीच में तो लगा जब बहुत बढ़ा, लेकिन उसके परिणाम अब प्रकट होने लगे थे। और दूसरी ओर देश में हालत क्या थी कि किसान को पता नहीं कि उसकी मिट्टी जो है उसमें कौन सी बीमारी है, कितनी दवा देनी है, क्या पौष्टिक आहार देना चाहिए, कौन खाद कितना देना चाहिए, ये भारी संकट था। दूसरा कि 77 मिलियन हेक्टेयर जमीन जो छोटे किसानों का है, हमने जो भी सिंचन की व्यवस्था की, बड़े बड़े फार्म हाउस, आप कई जिलों में जाएंगे महाराष्ट्र में या कई राज्यों में तो देखेंगे जो बड़े बड़े किसानों के फार्म हाउस है, तो पानी तो है वहां। ये 77 मिलियन हेक्टेयर जो 100% लघु और सीमांत किसान हैं, उनके खेत पर पानी नहीं पहुंचा। तो फिर 2 योजनाएं हमने प्रारंभ की, सॉइल हेल्थ कार्ड देश के 14 करोड़ किसानों को मिले और प्रधानमंत्री सिंचाई योजना चलाई जो अभी प्रारंभ हम करने जा रहे हैं। तो ये दोनों जिसके परिणाम आगे प्रकट होंगे, निश्चित रूप से प्रकट।
मैं आपसे ग्रीन रेवोल्यूशन या हरित क्रांति की जो आपने बात करी 2 मिनट में बात करती हूँ, लेकिन इसलिए मैं इस सवाल से मैंने अपना सारा इंटरव्यू स्टार्ट किया क्योंकि हम मार्केट चैनल है, स्टॉक मार्केट चैनल है, हमारे लोग देखते हैं कि रूरल इकोनॉमी का क्या हाल है, किस तरह का वहां पे कंजम्पशन होगा, किस तरह की डिमांड आएगी। उसके चलते एक बहुत ज्यादा चिंता का ये विषय है कि फार्मर की हालत इस समय बहुत खराब है। उसका एक रीजन ये है कि अनसीजनल रेनफॉल हो रहा है, उसका रीजन एक आपने बताया कि उत्पादकता जो जमीन है वो कम हुई है, लागत बढ़ गई है। उसके चलते मैं आपसे जानना चाहती हूँ, अगर एग्रीकल्चर मिनिस्टर, डू यू फील देयर इज अ क्राइसिस, एक क्राइसिस है क्या?
देखिए, ये संकट है जरूर, और मैंने बताया कि जो उत्पादकता कम हो रहा है, तो उत्पादकता बढ़े, उस क्राइसिस से, उस संकट का सामना करने के लिए पहला औजार हमारी सरकार ने, हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने तैयार किया है कि उत्पादकता बढ़ाना। फिर जो जल है, जल और मिट्टी को हमने महत्व दिया है कि इसका अभी उचित उपयोग नहीं करेंगे, इसकी चिंता नहीं करेंगे तो उत्पादकता नहीं बढ़ा सकते हैं। तो ये 2 काम हमने, और तीसरा कि ये सतत उत्पादकता उसका रहे, इसके लिए जैविक कृषि। अब आपको आश्चर्य होगा कि जब हम सरकार में आए थे तो 20-22 करोड़ रुपए थे विभिन्न योजनाओं के तहत जो जैविक खेती की ओर बढ़ रहे थे। इस बार हमने बजट में 300 करोड़ रुपए निकाला है। मतलब सतत उत्पादकता उसका मेंटेन रहे, बढ़े। तो इस दृष्टि से ये भी काम हमने शुरू किया।
एक तरह से आप ये कह रहे हैं कि ग्रीन रेवोल्यूशन ने उस टाइम पर शायद हमारा साथ दिया था, पर आज हम उसके दुष्परिणाम भुगत रहे हैं। क्या आप ये कहना चाह रहे हैं कि देयर आर एडवर्स इंपैक्ट्स ऑफ ग्रीन रेवोल्यूशन?
इसलिए कि संतुलित उपयोग रासायनिक खादों का, इसकी व्यवस्था हमने नहीं की थी। सॉइल हेल्थ कार्ड किसानों के पास नहीं था कि कितना देना चाहिए, इसका पता नहीं था, इसलिए उसके दुष्परिणाम प्रकट हुए। तो इस कमी को हमने दूर करने का अपने बजट, प्रधानमंत्री जी ने 568 करोड़ पर निकाला है, और 14 करोड़ जो ऐसे जोतदार हैं उनको 17 तक सबको सॉइल हेल्थ कार्ड देने का हमने लक्ष्य तय किया।
फेयर पॉइंट सर। एक और सवाल है जो बहुत लोग इस विषय में बहुत चिंतित हैं, एंड दैट इज कि खरीफ क्रॉप में थोड़ा मानसून का इम्पैक्ट हुआ था, एडवर्स था मानसून कहीं कहीं, सो खरीफ क्रॉप खराब हो गई थी, और अनसीजनल रेनफॉल ने रबी क्रॉप को काफी हद तक खराब किया है अक्रॉस द कंट्री। आपके असेसमेंट में कितनी खराब हुई है रबी क्रॉप?
ये जो खरीफ का सवाल है, मेरी सरकार आई, सूखा पड़ा
जी,
और ऐसा सूखा पड़ा, ऐसा दृश्य बना देश में कि आज तक में आपने देखा होगा कि भारी अकाल पड़ेगा, और 12% वर्षा कम हुई औसत से। लेकिन हमारे मंत्रालय ने आईसीआर ने कंटीजेंसी प्लान बनाया और राज्य सरकारों ने भी मदद की, वैज्ञानिकों ने मदद की, किसानों ने मदद की, और अंतिम परिणाम आपने देखा कि उस वर्ष हमारा जो कृषि जीडीपी है 1.1 में कमी नहीं आई।
जी हाँ।
बुआई में मात्र 2% की कमी आई और उत्पादन में मुश्किल से 10 लाख टन की कमी आई।
जी।
मैंने 13-14 में हमारा 267 लाख टन था और 14-15 में 255 हुआ। मतलब हमने उसका असर नहीं पड़ने दिया। इसके लिए हमने
खरीफ पे असर नहीं पड़ा, पर रबी पे
मैं बता रहा हूँ
जी।
खरीफ का ये आकलन है। अब जहां तक रबी का सवाल है, आज रबी के संबंध में जो हमारे पास आकलन आए हैं कि 113.98 हेक्टेयर प्रभावित हुआ है, ये अनुमानित है। अब जो टीम जा रहा है तो पूरा आकलन आएगा तो अगस्त महीने में हम ये आपको बता पाएंगे कि हम कितना प्रभावित होंगे, कितना हम इस चुनौती से निपटने में सक्षम हो रहे हैं। ये अगस्त में आपको हम बता पाएंगे।
एक बहुत ही डिस्टर्बिंग ट्रेंड जो देखा जा रहा है अक्रॉस द कंट्री एंड नॉट जस्ट कन्फाइंड टू वन स्टेट इज फार्मर सुसाइड। बहुत ज्यादा सुसाइड की दरें बढ़ रही हैं। उसको आप किस चीज से संबंधित करते हैं? उसको आप किस चीज से अनुमान उसका लगाते हैं? ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है और गवर्नमेंट क्या कर रही है इस तरह की वारदात रोकने के लिए?
2013 के जो आंकड़े हमने देखे हैं कि देश में 11-12 हजार के लगभग आत्महत्याएं हुई और उसमें 850 कृषि कारणों से हुई। अब कृषि कारणों से 800-900 आत्महत्या और 10,000 अन्य कारणों से। कारण चाहे जो हो, संख्या चाहे जितनी हो, एक भी व्यक्ति कोई यदि इस देश में आत्महत्या करता है तो शर्मनाक स्थिति है, चिंता का विषय है। तो निश्चित रूप से जो देश के अंदर नीतियां बनती है उसके जो परिणाम होते हैं, दुष्परिणाम होते हैं, वो आने वाली पीढ़ी को भोगना पड़ता है। अब मैं किसी व्यवस्था को दोष नहीं देता हूं, लेकिन आज जो कुछ हो रहा है वो एक दिन, 2 दिन, 1 साल, 2 साल का नहीं है। ये 60 वर्षों तक जो हमने राज किया और उसमें हम जिस दिशा में ले गए तो उसका परिणाम है।
बट विल फार्मर्स कंटिन्यू टू डाई वेयरएज पॉलिटिशियंस विल टेक चार्जेस? आप कांग्रेस को ब्लेम करेंगे? कांग्रेस भाजपा को ब्लेम कर रही है?
कांग्रेस को ब्लेम नहीं कर रहा हूं। मैं ये कह रहा हूं कि जो हम नीतियां बनाएंगे उसी का परिणाम आएगा। जैसे हमने नीतियां बनाई 10 वर्षों तक और हजारों हजार करोड़ रुपया सिंचाई के लिए दिया। सिंचाई के लिए दिया
सर, बड़े फार्म्स को दिया आप कह रहे हैं?
बड़े फार्म्स की बात छोड़ दी, हम मानते हैं उनको भी नहीं आपने दिया। लेकिन 77 मिलियन हेक्टेयर जमीन जो सिंचित था वो आंकड़ा कितना कम हुआ? ये रुपया कहां गए? एक तो बहुत बड़ा विषय ना, खेत पर पानी नहीं पहुंच पाया। तो निश्चित रूप से नीतियां और उसके एक्सक्लूजन, नियत, ये दोनों का प्रभाव पड़ता है। हमारी सरकार को 10 महीने हुए हैं। प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने जो योजनाएं शुरू की है, ये कोई नई चीज नहीं शुरू उन्होंने की है। सब क्षेत्र पर पानी पहुंचाने के लिए सॉइल हेल्थ कार्ड, मार्केटिंग सिस्टम, नेशनल इंटीग्रेटेड मार्केट बनाने की बात है। आपने देखा होगा कि 10 वर्षों के अंदर इन्हीं नीतियों का परिणाम है कि एक राज्य के अंदर जहां पूरे देश का जीडीपी कृषि विकास दर 4% जिस समय नहीं था, वहां 12-14 पर गया था। तो नीति और नियत, और अभी जो सरकार आई है, मैं पिछली सरकार को दोष नहीं देता हूं, लेकिन मैं एक उदाहरण देता हूं कि आज जो व्यक्ति बैठा हुआ है उसने सारे प्रयोग किए हैं सफलतापूर्वक, और जो नीतियां हम ला रहे हैं, जो नए योजनाएं हम लाए हैं, उसके परिणाम निश्चित रूप से प्रकट होंगे।
मैं आपसे एक सवाल पूछना चाहती हूँ, क्योंकि ये बहुत ही एक विवाद का विषय भी है, ये एक डिस्कशन का विषय भी है कि जो हालत है आज एक गरीब किसान की, एक फार्मर की, उसकी वजह से उनको कॉम्पनसेशन देने की बात कुछ हो रही है। ये किस तरह का कॉम्पनसेशन होगा और इसकी फंडिंग कैसे होगी?
देखिए, कॉम्पनसेशन जो है, रिलीफ, पहले तो रिलीफ, ये कोई नई व्यवस्था नहीं है। एनडीआरएफ फंड होता है और राज्यों के पास पैसा उसमें रहता है, जिसको एसडीआरएफ बोलते हैं, और इसके नॉर्म्स बने हुए हैं पहले से कि प्रति हेक्टेयर जो असिंचित क्षेत्र है तो उसमें हम 4500 रुपये का रिलीफ देंगे। सिंचित क्षेत्र है तो प्रति हेक्टेयर 9000 देंगे, और बागवानी नष्ट होता है तो 12000 देंगे। और पहले से नॉर्म्स चले हैं। ये हमारा वित्तीय वर्ष, एक वित्तीय वर्ष
जी
के 3 महीना बीतने के बाद हमारी सरकार आई थी। 14-15 की हमारी सरकार वित्तीय वर्ष के प्रथम तिमाही के बाद आई थी,
जून से।
वो सारे नॉर्म्स है। अब 31 मार्च के बाद जो दूसरा वित्तीय वर्ष शुरू हुआ, निश्चित रूप से हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी चिंतित हैं कि भाई कंपनसेशन भी देना है, मुआवजा नहीं है, ये कंपनसेशन नहीं है, रिलीफ है, तो ये राशि बहुत कम है। और निश्चित रूप से इस महीने में जैसा मैंने देखा प्रधानमंत्री जी की बेचैनी, निश्चित रूप से हम इस महीने में इस नॉर्म्स को बढ़ाएंगे।
एंड कैन यू शेयर विद अस कितना बढ़ाएंगे आप, किस फिगर तक ले जाएंगे इसको?
कृषि मंत्री, वित्त मंत्री और गृह मंत्री तीनों बैठकर अंतिम निर्णय लेंगे
जी।
और प्रधानमंत्री जी का निर्देश है, निश्चित रूप से इस काम को हम करेंगे।
सर, व्हाई आई एम आस्किंग यू दिस क्वेश्चन इज क्योंकि जैसे बैंक्स की अगर आप हालत देखें, आज बैंक्स के एनपीएस को देखें, उनके खराब लोन्स को देखें, तो उसमें एग्रीकल्चर क्रेडिट का बहुत ज्यादा रीजन है, क्योंकि एग्रीकल्चर की फसलें खराब हुई हैं, उसकी वजह से बैंक रेट बढ़ता है। इसलिए बहुत लोग चिंतित है कि कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है कि आप एक फार्म लोन वेवर की बात कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि बैंकिंग की ऐसी अभी हालत या हेल्थ नहीं है कि वो इस चीज को झेल पाएंगे।
देखिए, हमारा जो ऋण, कृषि ऋण प्रवाह है,
जी हाँ,
हम लगातार बढ़ा रहे हैं। पिछली बार भी 14-15 में भी हमने बढ़ाया था और 15-16 में भी हमने 8.5 लाख करोड़ की हमने व्यवस्था की है और 25,000 करोड़ नाबार्ड के माध्यम से ये हमने व्यवस्था शुरू की है। और उसमें जो किसान को जो समय पर देता है, ऋण चुकाता है, उसको मात्र 4% देना पड़ता है, 3% हम उसको देते हैं। लेकिन कई राज्य सरकारें ऐसी है कि जो अपनी ओर से भी उसमें देता है, जैसे मध्य प्रदेश अब 0 इंटरेस्ट पर देता है। तो ये जो योजना और पैसे जो हैं, राज्यों के पास भी बजट बनता है और भारत सरकार के साथ भी बजट बनता है। तो हम
Well, that's the Agricultural Minister. It's an ET Now exclusive, and the space is extremely active today. I must say the market has really come up in the last few minutes of trade. So it's not as good as yesterday, but we are back from the black, back from the red, which is a good thing. And the broader markets too have done well. I was speaking about the agri space. Look at what Advanta or an RCF or a Chambal or a Tata Chemicals, any of these stocks have done. Almost everything is going very well today. It's almost a mirror image of what real estate did in trade yesterday. But you know what? I think we first need to get in closing strategies. We haven't had a chance to discuss too many stocks with our experts because of all the macro news happening. But let's get in the closing strategies first from both our experts. Mitesh, what about you? Your top closing strategy?
In fact, it is Chambal Fertilizers, Neeraj. I think something is happening. It's had a big gap up on Wednesday, and then today, I think, we are seeing the stock price take support of the gap area and bounce back nicely. So buy with a slightly positional stop of about 70 and look at targets of around 85 over here. It might take about a week and a half to reach there.
Okay, that's a buy in Chambal Fertilizers. Ashwini, your closing strategies, 10 minutes left.
See, Wockhardt, has just started moving. So that's a buy with a stop of 1960. Look for targets of 2050. Now we are going towards the 50-day moving average and doing that with great amount of difficulty on the Nifty. So people should be cautious that banks are underperforming and not able to cross their 20-day, whereas Nifty is having trouble at the 50-day moving average. So chances are that this rally may not be very sustainable. So I won't be very excited about the market recovery. This could just be choppiness.
Funny, yesterday real estate, today fertilizers, these are, on a usual day, pretty dead sectors which are seeing days under the sun. Sustainable, you think?
Well, I think agrochemicals and fertilizers might be a little bit more sustainable. And the reason for that is probably the market now believes that after the tough decisions on fuel subsidy and to some extent on food, the government might focus its attention on fertilizers. Since 2010, there has been no meaningful reform in that space, and to that extent, the excerpts of the Agriculture Minister's interview also does suggest that the government is focused on ensuring nutrient balance in the soil. So if there is some continuation of the 2010 policy of ensuring more value-added fertilizers like NPK, etc., then I think there is some more good news for this sector, and it might be re-rated also, but it is still very early since this sector perked up after a very long time today.
Okay, a bunch of stocks which are spiking up as well. So bring up United Breweries for you, one. I think that stock is just moving up in the session today. So do watch out for that one. Do bring up the intraday of Gati as well for our viewers. Just want to show you what the logistics space at large is doing. But Gati individually, 4.5% up in trade. Remember, a couple of global news, actually one global news and one local news as well. And that is probably one reason why Gati is doing what it is doing. In fact, it's amongst the highest moving stocks on the CNX 500 in the last 30 minutes. So Gati's made a big move. Bombay Dyeing is the other one. So remember, actually, just for the benefit of our viewers, keep in mind that on the global front, FedEx is going to buy out TNT Express for $4.8 billion, which is a premium of 33% over TNT's share price. So there is a big global buyout that is happening in the logistics space, and that may keep stocks like Gati, etc. active. What else? Bombay Dyeing, Puravankara, and a bunch of other names too have not done too badly for themselves. Funny, SKS Micro is that other big stock in news. The RBI note about doubling of lending to an individual borrower from MFI is clearly giving that fillip. Expectations are the results this quarter as well would be extremely robust. What would you do with an SKS? Because it's no longer that 150, 200 rupee beaten down stock. It is at 500 or northwards of 500 now. So valuations have certainly become more expensive.
Well, you need to treat it like a expensive growth stock and keep paying for growth. The good thing with a stock like SKS or for that matter the entire microfinance sector, although you do not have many opportunities in the listed space, is that compared to where they were, the last time you saw excitement in this space was about 5 years back, but at that time they did enter into asset quality headwinds. But this time round, those headwinds are simply not there. In fact, it's a tailwind in many of the cases because there is going to be a write back of many of the provisions if things go well in states like Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. But overall, considering the valuation versus the return on equity and more importantly the growth potential which the market sees, I think they are good for some more. And as I said, it has to be treated like an expensive growth stock. And as long as growth continues, I think the stocks will continue to do well.
What about IT, Funny, ahead of earnings? How would you position yourself there?
Well, there has been a caution from both mid-cap and large-cap IT companies about constant currency guidance. But to my mind, a large part of that caution is already there in the price since stocks have corrected immediately. On a risk-return basis, I think IT still presents you a fantastic opportunity. Valuations for large-cap companies are anywhere between 13.5 times to 16 times, barring a TCS, which is about 20 times. Considering that the growth potential in mother markets is improving, I think it's a good opportunity for investors to lap up IT. It will not set the stands on fire, but it is a sector that will consistently give you around 16 to 18% growth in your portfolio with minimum volatility.
Okay, just before we start wrapping up, Schneider is one amongst the mid caps which is doing extremely well in the last few minutes of trade. So Schneider Electric just booking up. Mahindra and Mahindra, Idea and Bharti are the other stocks. Idea Cellular has been a revelation of sorts ever since these auction processes have gotten over. M&M up 3%, second day in a row. Bharti Airtel up 1.25%, and Idea Cellular at 198 has doing very well. Final thoughts on these large caps. Mitesh, I'll come to you on the telecom names. Idea and Bharti, what do you do here?
Neeraj, Idea has been a recommendation, so has been Bharti. I think Idea now very close to meeting targets of 200, about 202. I think, maybe you would want to take some profits if you have been carrying trading positions. Bharti is something which I would be comfortable buying right now as well, with a stop below 401, possibly looking at targets of 425. Eventually, I think the stock will head towards 437 to about 440.
Opinion on Mahindra and Mahindra before we start wrapping up. Second day of gains. You were talking about this having bottomed out yesterday. Is there more in store?
So it appears so, and the point is not news or agrarian distress, etc. The point is the stock has bottomed out because it's going up without too much news flow. Chances are, it will get back towards 1350, 1400. So this is a good time to get back into Mahindra.
ACC is the other one which is perked up. That's about a 2.5% gain coming in just past 1650 in the session. So a good move coming in for this pack as well. That's actually getting rewarded in the way the Nifty has also recovered from the day's lows. I just want to mark that I think that would be close to 100 points from the low point of the session for the index. And Nifty will come up for you on your screens. 8680, that's a 0.25% in terms of just the percentage gain. But look at the recovery from the day's lows in trade. I think roughly about 8580 odd was the low point of the session, 8590 odd. So 100 points recovered from the low point of the session, which is fairly remarkable, and a big move on the candlestick chart coming in for the index. Some of these auto names, very quickly, Funny, before we wrap up, where are you laying your bets? Do you think that in the numbers that just came, it seems clear that the CV cycle is pretty much back on track?
Well, if interest rates fall more, then there will be more momentum on the CV cycle. But on the balance, I think it's something that one can look at. But I'm more bullish on two-wheelers compared to the rest in the auto space. Okay, so a bit wary, but the CV space looks interesting there. Let's start winding up the market. The key headline is really the index recovering a good 80-90 points from the low point of the session. So good comeback for the market. That's the that's the note that we sign off on today's trade. The mid caps and the small caps. So the small cap index is 1.25%. It'll be interesting to see how we fared, at the close of the week, for the last couple of sessions as well, since the start of the series, really on the small cap index, because that one has been outperforming the benchmark for a while. The mid cap index also have about 1%. The gainers first, and you have a Tata Steel, a Sesa Sterlite. Good performance there. From amongst the autos, and M&M, Bajaj Auto, bit of a trading bounce coming in there. Bajaj Auto is being sold off over the last few sessions since the numbers. So a bit of a technical bounce also supporting the stock. NTPC 3% higher. There's Traction, Cement, Grasim, Ultratech, ACC doing their bit. Bharti Airtel and a marked recovery there. I think in a while I've seen a close above 400 on Bharti. Even after the Spectrum auction results that came out with the bidding process and the numbers out on payouts, I didn't see that kind of euphoria on Bharti Airtel. It's closing at 410, which is very encouraging for this stock. Technically, it was at resistance level 400 for this one. TCS, some of the IT names have done okay. Punjab National Bank, Reliance Industries, there's been some recovery there as well. However, we could have bargained for a bit more participation from the bank index. The bank Nifty will come up for you on your screens. PNB has done okay. Axis Bank, ICICI Bank, Kotak Bank, SBI have still laboured in the session. Bank of Baroda also closing in higher, 1.5%. The Bank Nifty, however, I think the close over there has been a tick in the red. So not a marked recovery. That's 0.5% down for the Bank Nifty still, even though it's off the day's lows. Some of the IT majors have been under pressure. And pharma names, especially the large caps. I know there's been a flurry of excitement in the broader universe. But among the large caps, Sun Pharma, Cipla, profit booking.
Even for Cadila, it's off the highs, but look at some of the mid-sized names. By the way, Divi's Lab, and that's done very, very well, 3% higher. But look at I think a Natco Pharma too is well and truly in the green, was up massively in trade, off the highs of the day, but doing okay. Aarti Drugs is up 20%, so a big move that is coming there. SKS Micro stands up right there. It's very interesting, the move in Escorts. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala has added stake, yes, but the monthly sales numbers on the traders front were disappointing. 35 or 36% downtick. But that notwithstanding, it's an 8% uptick for an Escorts. Then in Amtech India, I think Amtech Auto 2 hasn't done too badly. It's been a good ride for Amtech India the last few days, I must say. HCC 7.5%, 35.75, not bad going for that one either. And Suzlon 6.5% at 29.35. So again, a good show. REC ahead of the OFS, 4.5% down today. Page Industries has lost some of its sheen, I must say, from highs of 14,774, 13,670, down 500 points today, 3.5% off. And Gujarat Pipavav, it reached a high of 261. But it's corrected quite viciously after that. 15 points lost there, 246. So that one hasn't had the best of days. And then, of course, the entire agrarian space. So Advanta, UPL, insecticides, Excel Crop Care, RCF. It's a 15-20% gain for the basket at large. Good moves there that have come into those. Okay, MCX, by the way, one of the stock in news which has lost quite a bit, 3.5% down. Let's get in final thoughts from Funny. Funny, 2 or 3 names, I don't know which ones do you track, but I'm just throwing these open to you. One of them, MCX, and the talk of Kotak exiting, whether that could be a overhang or a worry. 2, a Century Textiles, wherein ET now broke the story when the stock was way lower about the cement division being hived off to Ultratech and a company receiving around 10,000 odd crores. Assuming that that does happen, how big a positive is that for Century, because the stock has rallied quite a bit? And 3, any of the infra names which have raised money via a QIP or some other methods, because the QIPs have been lapped up quite well, HCC being a case in point today. So any of these, if you track any of these.
So ignoring infra is the most convenient thing. I was on your show when you broke the Century Textiles news, and okay. It is the best story of the 3. Considering that for the shareholders of Century Textiles, it's a huge positive, and at the same time, the Ultratech shareholders also gain. As far as MCX is concerned, one is not quite sure about the news, but if it is true, then I think that it takes away a good amount of sheen from the stock.
Okay, P. Funny Shekhar, thank you so much for joining in today. Normally we ask you for a stock as well, but I think we'll do that on some other occasion. But thanks so much for joining in today and giving us your views and your thoughts on specific names. Okay, let's get in final thoughts from our technical